So, hello everyone. Welcome to this week's Harbor Community Meeting. Today is the 7th September, and we can start with our agenda from the community meeting URL here. And first one is Jiaolin, and is giving a note about Harbor 2.6 and also the plan for 2.7.
Yeah. Thanks, Vadim. The first thing I want to talk about is the 2.6.0 release. It is finally GA'd last week. And in this release, we have introduced a few important features like CV export. This is asked by community for a while, I think. And another one is to introduce a cache layer to improve the performance of pool artifacts, especially in high concurrence scenario. And this is very useful for the enterprise hub instance where there are very high concurrent pool and requests. And another one is purge audit log. And also we have provided a user guide to use Velola to back up the Harbor Helm chart. So anyway, that is a big achievement for this release, I think. And congratulations to the Harbor team, and thanks for all the contributors to this release. The next one, yeah, I think Vadim, you have shown the whole list here.
Yeah, so I think the feature-wise, I mean, they have like 3 major features, like cache layer was a big feature, CV export, audit logs. But I think the most impressive one is actually the fixes. You know, how many fixes and updates and all this minor things that went into. So this is really, I mean, this was a really big release, you know, 2.6, because there were so many small changes and fixes and updates. I mean, I counted them, and there was like over 160.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, more impressive than the new features itself. I mean, it's like a big stability improvement as well.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Vadim. The next element I want to talk about is the 2.7 plan. Actually, I think the team have some initial discussion and with the Roger, and also we have take care of some input from the community discussion and some issues opened from the community. So we have a draft list. I mean, in the in the wiki, and that is something what we currently think about. We will provide it in this release, and considering that the December is a holiday season, so we may how to say, we may include not as much as the previous release in 2.6. So this is the current issue we have already labeled with the target 2.7. And also, I think there are a few items we will create later based on the I mean, requirement discussion with the PM Roger. So anyway, I think community can take a look at this, and for the timeline about 2.7, as usual, we will have a 4 months release cycle. So we have initial timeline tentatively maybe have the GA date in middle of the December. So for the detail date, I have put it in the wiki. So I will not going to read each of them.
So somewhere mid-December, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a brief summary of this. So thank you, Vadim.
Yeah. Yeah, and regarding a question regarding the discussions that there have been on the discussion board, for the 2.7 release, did we make a few of those, suggestions from the community into 2.7? So is there kind of a feedback loop so that we can say, for example, for example, this one from Alex, allow users to links in documentation without version number. Yeah, this is from the website, but let's see on the product so that we can say, hey, your requirement or your proposal is now accepted, and you can track it into this issue. Did we kind of have a few of those things into 7?
Yeah, I think
what I mean?
we have some a few items coming from the discussion. For example, I think we have a issue. It is two. Let me check. Oh, okay. I think that issue is not labeled list, but it is on our radar. Let me open this 2007 discussion.
Yeah,
I think there is an issue related to the poor time update, right? I think that is something community also want to be fixed. It is
this one you mean, huh?
One. Could you scroll down to the bottom?
Yeah, this is the bottom.
Yeah, I think that is the. Yeah, the 14638. Right.
Yeah, so targeted for 2.7.
Yeah, we will try to fix this in this release. I think this is also important for some of our community users, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so so we need to kind of close the loop, because we ask the people to provide feedback, and if we kind of ignoring, I mean, we have to ignore a few of those things. That's true, but some of them are good suggestions, and if we have an issue for that, we should link it back so that we can see like we are listening to the users and implementing what they're asking for.
Yeah.
And if it's kind of visible here as a comment, we can address that.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I think from the community we Prahalat wanted to talk about Gitpod. I'm just pinging him on.
Is Prahalat here? I happen not seeing his name showing in the participants. Looks like Prahalat is not here.
Yeah. I just pinged him. Maybe he joins, but he's online. And Pratik would like to talk about a discussion on this pull request. Let's take a look at this. He's not there. I'll message him in the meantime, so we can maybe take a look at this one. And I message him. Okay. So, but we can take a look anyway. And I think, yes, this is the issue here. I've been looking into this, and I would like to get your opinion about. So what I think he's trying to do is, they're trying to do onboard the user. So this is what I understand, so that they try to onboard the user manually or via API before he actually logs into Harbor the first time, So I think this is his intention, and for that he wants to exclude. No, sorry. Yeah, so for this, he wants to exclude the CSRF from onboard. And the question is, should we do it? What speaks against it?
But what about if the auto onboard is disabled? That means the user, to onboard a user, he needs to follow a SSL flow to authenticate in the OIDC provider. And there is another step in the backend, and that is the token exchange. And then after that, you will redirect to the onboard endpoint. And if at this time, if the auto onboard is disabled, you have to do a extra menu step in the Harbor Web UI to click it's okay to save an onboarded user, and then Harbor will write the username and secret into the Harbor database. So that's why we believe that the API is supposed not to work for the OIDC scenario, like the comments added by the Daniel in this issue. So my questions here is about the user. And have you ever tried the CLI flow with this PR? I mean, you have to build the Harbor with this source code with this PR, and then try to onboard a new user with CLI, and to see whether it works or not. And like what I mentioned, if Harbor enables disable the auto onboard, the API should not work.
Yeah, but I think their require. I mean, their requirement is because they just call directly the OIDC login, so that's why there is no token before that. So I think he's also explaining it.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether he tracked the whole workflow at their end, not just a risk of PR for us.
Yeah, because they're calling the API directly, so they're calling this endpoint to onboard the user via OIDC,
Yes, yes.
And then do this onboarding.
Yeah, but I need to validate this PR in the OIDC backend. But as I mentioned, when Harbor enables disables auto onboard, so how should we handle this kind of situation?
Yeah, but so I mean, we do onboard the users also via this way, So this, I mean, for us, it's also relevant, to onboard the user directly via API. In a sense, not to pre-onboard them, so that when they come in, they already have the projects assigned and things like this, Because if you need to have the user onboarded first, and then you can assign projects to the user, And otherwise, you cannot do this, and this is, or give them permissions, things like this. And this is what they're doing, I guess. I mean, we do it also in a similar way. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe we can take a look at it. I'm not sure. I mean, it will not have a negative impact, and it will, be still be backward compatible. So that's why I'm thinking it. If there are quite a few people asking for that, we should review this again.
Sure.
Because it has no negative impact on the current state of the application, and also on the security. I think it's not a big issue if this is has CSRF skipped, because normally this is always called first, right?
Yep.
I mean, yeah. Okay. What do we have? Another topic? I think we don't have any other topics on the agenda. From my side, yeah, maybe someone can approve this pull request. I mean, there's a typo here. I mean, it's like a really small issue, because the file name has no markdown no markdown ending, suffix, and that's why it's not correctly displayed in the you see, like, life cycle. Yeah, so you see, it's displaying as a text, So if we have this correct ending, it will display correctly as a markdown, like this one, properly. So if you approve this request for me, and it needs 2 approvals. So if someone can approve it quickly, then we have this. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Otherwise, from my side, I have no topics to discuss. Anything from your side? Maybe regarding 2.7 release, is already everything fixed there, or is it still kind of a window open for proposals?
Yeah, I think we almost done, but we still can evaluate if any other things we can include.
Yeah, I mean, we might have
but we would expect this can be, I mean, I mean, we will have a expectation in maybe by end of this month. We will. I mean, we will have a fixed plan. So by that time, we will not include any additional big features.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And also, you can filter issues by label 2.7 to see what we will have in the next manual release.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we have a few contributions as well that we would like to contribute into 7. That's why.
You're welcome.
Maybe if we're on the community side and we have some minutes, I would like to also talk about this one, because it's coming up a bit more and more, and we have a few discussions. It was already a 2.7, and this is a proposal from my side. How this can be done. So I need to maybe convert it as a proposal, as an official proposal, but it's for you to get a kind of understanding. So I mean, now we have in 2.6 we added WebAssembly module, the support for a WebAssembly module, and this was done by code contribution, so supporting WebAssembly, the log, the icon, and things like this. And my idea is, because I see it, Harbor moving towards more of a general purpose artifact repository. So there's like different types of artifacts stored in Harbor, not only container images and Helm charts, but also web modules. And we have now different types of web modules, so for web assemblies, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be much more in the future. And so my proposal here is, if we can make it a bit more dynamic, so that we can display those different artifacts accordingly in Harbor. Maybe we can kind of display it as tabs, or maybe we can filter by them. So there's different options. So I just made a proposal with tabs, but also maybe filter would be proper action. And the idea is that we can kind of configure it dynamically, in a sense that whenever there's a new, whatever customer decides artifact he want to have, he can configure it upfront in Harbor, either via config or via UI in the configs, and said, okay, I would like to, have this artifact type, and then he defines this type, and it will be present, and it gives a name, and it will be present in a UI as a own tab, and then you can of course filter it accordingly. So something like this, I think would be helpful for Harbor. What do you think? Is this something?
If like there are many more incoming tabs, and then we will need, then the UI will be kind of like over designed, I think.
Exactly. So this is, I mean, one thing. I mean,
for example, for like right now we only have two columns out there, right? One is repository and the other one is the Helm chart.
Yes.
The first image out there, and the second image, there are like 4 columns there. If there are like many other tabs incoming we want to support, then from the UI perspective, it looks like over designed for me. Like,
I mean, the main goal is that Harbor out of the box will support these 2 types, but the customer or the user can add other types themselves, so we should more provide the functionality so that user can add his custom types, and those custom types, can be maybe a 3rd one or a 4th one, or if he has like 20, then of course you will have many tabs. I mean, and tabs is just one option, so we can also do it via drop down. But I think
okay, you may drop down. Okay.
Yeah, so if depending on the user, so some will have this type, some will have those types, but Harbor out of the box will just support, I would say, this 2 for the beginning, and
the third one for drop down, right?
Yeah, and then drop down, or the user can add his own, and then it will be kind of a more flexible. And then it depends on how many different types they want to add, but I don't think users will have more than a handful. But yeah. So I mean, it's just my proposal how we can think about extending Harbor for different OCI artifacts, because I'm pretty much sure that we're gonna see much more artifacts in the next half year or year, popping up.
I think we can. I think we just could add an option just to select one type of artifact to display. For example, I just want to display all the container images. or the Helm chart or the auras or other version artifact like that. One user
Exactly.
just click this artifact, then only display this artifact.
As a tab.
That-
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one option, but the disadvantage of that design is that the user can only display one type of the artifact, right? If the user want to display two types, then then it may not then he may not
Yeah.
be able to do that, right?
So my opinion for your UI UX design is seems that it's not reasonable, because that in the top level we should have a repository, not rather than the containers, Helm charts, and auras, etc. Because that in any specific repository we can have different kinds of artifacts like image, Helm charts. But if you put the charts auras here, it breaks the top from top up to down on design of artifact. And in addition to that, so now we are planning to deprecate a chart museum. So we definitely will only have one type of repository. There will not have charts listed in the project.
And that's also a problem.
But yeah, this is the particular for the Helm chart. No, sorry, for the chart museum. We will put all the OCI compatible artifacts into repositories. So we have a filter for artifact, like you can select type equals auras to filter out your artifacts. I believe this is enough for user to filter your artifacts. I do not agree that you should put the type in the UI. It's not reasonable.
So yeah, do you mean we only need one column called repository, and all the artifacts are listed in the repositories there, right? And then we can add an additional feature on top of the repository to filter which type of artifact the user want to display, right?
We have, it's not additional feature. We already have.
Oh, we already have that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the current design is we put other things into repository, because that any specific artifact will belong to one repository. So and then under any specific repository, you can filter your artifacts by type.
Okay. So you should be able to filter here, right?
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Sorry.
This is currently version.
It looks like there's no filter against the
have
repositories. We only have a filter against the name.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is 2.5. I mean, I have an artifact.
Yeah, I think no, go back to this page. Yeah, on this page there is a search.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Push by search by type, right? Not push command. Oh no.
There's no drop down.
You need to click the repository and click the repository. Yeah, and their search.
Oh,
I think it is
Wow.
then we
not
already
easy
have
to
the
use.
functionality. Okay.
I think we should filter the repository based on the artifact it contains. For example, if it has a wasn't artifact, then it will only display the repository which has a wasn't artifact.
Okay.
So
For those,
we are maintaining the list of type here. So if we decide to expand Harbor to support any external type of artifact, we will add it into the type list so that user can list the artifacts by any specific type.
I suggest to move this search condition into the upper level.
No,
the repository level. Yeah.
I haven't seen that example here somewhere, but I cannot find it. Sorry.
So maybe we should have some tips for search, right? Otherwise, someone may not know how to search by type. So you can just file an issue on that, and we will have the UI designer to review your issue, and maybe we can do some enhancement.
By enhancement, you mean we move the search?
No, we just my opinion just we can just ask a tooltip to tell user how to search by type.
Okay.
Or filter by type, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this would of course help a bit. Yeah. This would definitely help search by type. But it should, I think it should be one level up, but I'm not sure. I think it should be one level up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because when I, for example, push a help chart, you know, I have already a help chart as a as an artifact there, and I cannot filter by this artifact because everything inside this artifact is a Helm chart. I mean, I can show this here. So I think it makes it clear.
Oh, you are using a repository.
So this is for example a Helm chart here inside, right? So if I take a look, so now like there's all Helm charts. It makes no sense to filter it because I can only have Helm charts here. I cannot have images here. I mean, maybe I can push images here as well, but normally it's just
no.
Helm
You
charts.
can put everything into one repository.
Yeah.
You can put the Helm chart into repository A, and you can also put image to that repository. So in this situation, you can use type to filter what you want.
Okay.
So if you move the filter up, so the filter here should only filter for repository, not for the artifact.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, interesting. Didn't know this existed. But thanks, yeah. So it makes not this functionality not that pressing, you know, having it this way. But good to know. Yeah, thank you for clarification. I think we will maybe help to document it somehow or make it more usable or present for the user too, so he knows. Yeah. Okay, from my side, I think there is. I have no questions or no discussion points. From your side? I guess not. All right. Then I would say thank you very much for your time, and have a nice evening.
Thank
Bye
you
bye,
all.
everyone.
Bye. See you next time.